Hello and welcome to Odessa. This is Dresden's Tale, episode 13. I'm your host, Lewis Nicolls, and I'm issuing a missing chapter alert. I was uploading today. I was late anyway, and then suddenly realized there was no episode 13. So, here we go, re-recording, trying to get back on schedule. It's a little bit of a reward for you. It means that I'm not going to re-record whatever mysterious introduction I may have had. I really don't remember. I may have rambled on for minutes upon minutes upon minutes about something that didn't matter at all. But instead, this time, I'm going right into the story. Right into chapter 12. On the 23rd day of Rudy, 2051 years after the fall. The week had its highs and lows, but for Dresden, they were one and the same. Nearly every desolate village meant a fight, a jarring cycle of excitement and disappointment. Mangy beast-men, desert ogres, Hessian heretics, and half-starved wolves all infested the abandoned spaces. They had to deal with it, and the veterans did let him in on the fighting, but he could have done without the babysitting. As far as the dwarf was concerned, it was a derogatory term for a vile practice. In essence, it was coddling warriors, exposing them to violence, but protecting them from real danger. It was a simple fact that in Dresden's world, life experiences which pleased the gods led to greater ability to serve them. Grass grew, coal burned, and seasoned warriors became tougher and more capable of learning the valuable skills that a successful clansman needed. The act of babysitting was an overprotective way for new warriors to curry that favor from the gods. His self-appointed mentors denied that's what they were doing. Instead, they insisted they were just protecting a member of the team. But physically holding him back while somebody else staggered the ogre sure felt like babysitting to him. Dresden did not fear death. What he hated was looking foolish. Despite the unnecessary assistance, he held back his objections. It had been a good trip, and warriors did not complain. "Oh, this itches." "Drillplag, you look like axe-slapped crap." Gain looked down on the sick monkey. "Sorry, you're going to die." Viana seemed genuinely concerned, but his tone spoke volumes. He'd already written off the monkey. Death was no stranger to the Jungo warrior. "Yeah, it's Sandrash. The mites have laid their eggs all over him, and now they're hatching. Some of them will lay new eggs deeper down, and in a few days, he'll be gone. He could be treated in the city, but not here." "No chance of making it back on time?" Gang asked. Viana was the group's best scout. He knew the terrain better than anyone alive. "No," he declared solemnly. "Moving him in the heat will just make him weaker. It's at least 3 days back, even if somebody just throws him over a saddle and rides a horse to death." Dresden sat listening. He'd been keeping a secret since coming to Odessa, but now there was a price. He wasn't sure exactly how far they'd have to take the monkey for help, but he was pretty sure he could get him there in 1 or 2 pocket space jumps. The skill was a double-edged sword. He could magically move half a dozen lightly equipped people about 50 miles in just a few seconds, with almost no risk. The downside was stronger warriors tended to use anyone with this particular skill set as their own personal transportation system. "I can get him to Jungo Miyarnus faster than that," Dresden announced to the group. He wasn't going to let a warrior die if he could help it. The group was staring at him. "You're a warlock?" Pantides asked. "Fucking Ziblich," Baril spit. The art was not supported by everyone. Such magic was not derived directly from the gods, and it was suspect to many. Most saw it as a dangerous new tool, making them wary at best. At least until they found out he could do a day's travel so quickly. A minority wouldn't even accept him after that. Droplog signaled for someone to come close, and everyone leaned in. For real? You fucking lizard shit. Dresden, if you can get me somewhere to make this itching go away, you do it. His voice was weak, and the man was hard to look at. Pus oozed from 100 tiny wounds where the mites milled around under his skin. It took a few minutes to settle on who was going. It ended up with just a party of 4. 2 younger Jungo humans would accompany Dresden and the sick monkey. Dresden explained that their target, the large trade center of Jungo Miyarnus, was just 2 jumps away. He tried to calm himself and mumbled in a low voice, then traced the Maugchtkal glyph into the air. He frowned. The energies escaped his control. It's the heat. I can get us halfway, but the rest will have to be tomorrow morning in a second jump. They didn't even know something had gone wrong. We're in your hands, Warlock, Droplog wheezed. Dresden tried to ignore the extra pressure of the implied leadership role. His people might have defaulted to a rule of the strong, but warriors were quick to delegate authority to the specialists. The dwarf realized he might qualify. As he traced the seagull, Dresden could feel the energies running through him, the glyph, and his passengers. The warlock formed the final alignment, and everything went dark and cool. He stood at the front of a thin rectangular room. The walls were dull, the ceiling pure white and the floor brown. A sense of motion came from Dresden's stance as their pilot. He looked forward at a short wall, like a driver steering his wagon. It fed right into the phantom sensation of merely knowing that they were traveling. Despite the alien nature of the trip, everyone silently enjoyed the relief of the Odessan sun and heat. How long does this take? One of the young warriors looked nervous in the alien environment. Just another few seconds. Dresden pointed a small light out ahead of them. It was getting bigger. Warlocks and mages had found the qualities of the caster's skiff depended on very slight differences on how they formed the Maugchtkal glyph. Even the representative light at the end of the tunnel was part of the facade. He'd only ridden with one other user in his early training and made his own skiff to match. Suddenly, they were standing in the middle of the desert, once again assaulted by the sun and its heat. Droplog grabbed at his gut and retched. Dizzy, he mumbled. The other riders were disoriented as well. One hurled their last meal across an innocent desert boa, already crawling for cover. The other stumbled, sitting down hard on a nearby stone. What did you do to us? Dresden held up his hands. It's fine, it's fine. For a moment he thought the warriors were about to come after him. It's normal. Most people take a ride or two to get used to the sensation of coming out of the astral. What's an astral? It's nothing a warrior can't handle. Droplog snickered. Just bring us in a little out of town, if you can. I look bad enough without people seeing me collapse in my own puke. And there you have it. That's episode 13. Chapter 12 is in the books. Tell me what you think in the comments. What do you think about the emergency redo there? It's a little bit shorter. Hopefully not rushed. Hopefully it sounds just as good, but let me know. I can guarantee you this one isn't going to have as many text boxes. Let me know what you think about that too. If you don't feel like commenting, that's fine. Hit the like button if you can. But as always, I'm just glad you're here. I hope everybody has an absolutely wonderful day.